All right, it's 7 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you all so much for coming out. You've got me tonight, so the mayor sends his best. But he's stuck at the airport somewhere. So we will move right along with our meeting though. Okay, commissioners, so the first thing we have on the agenda is the beer board meeting. So I'll go ahead and open up the beer board meeting at 7:02. And this beer permit application is for the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center. It is for their, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's for your summer concert series.
No, it goes through October, but yes.
Goes through October. Okay. And also Chief Condi's going to be a few minutes late. Just wanted to let you all know that. Frank, would you like to come up and just kind of tell us a little bit about your concert series and introduce yourself, because maybe a couple of us haven't met you before.
Hi everybody, I'm Frank Raphael. I'm the CEO of the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center. A dream job for me, and I started in December. Delighted to be here. I live in Knoxville, so I commute a little bit to this beautiful place, but I've been coming here for 25 years. And it's a part of my family, it's a part of my life, and I never dreamed I'd ever get to work here, and I feel very privileged and honored to be a part of this. My history briefly is, prior to this position, I ran a nonprofit in Knoxville called the Joy of Music School, which is a tuition-free music school for low-income children. We serve thousands and thousands of kids. And prior to that, I was the director and conductor of Knoxville Opera. You have to call me Maestro, by the way. I'm kidding. I can't even get my wife to do it. So if you know the Rossini Festival in Knoxville, I started that festival when I was running the opera company. So it's just a real delight to be here. The concert series we're talking about is Friday nights, starting in May. Is that right, Joe? May. Yeah. Starting in May. Every Friday night or so, not every single one, but there are bands that are of regional significance or local significance, ranging from bluegrass to tribute bands, bands that play the Eagles song, that sort of thing. Our amphitheater seats about 350 people. We will offer beer to them. We, of course, check IDs, card everybody. People have to purchase a wristband in order to get beer. Jill runs a very tight ship, so I put all my trust in her, as many of you probably have before. So, anything else I can describe for you?
I don't think so, unless anyone else has any more questions for Mr. Gruffio.
How many years has this been going on? I know you've seen this for the last 5 or 6 years, or I know it's been going on longer than that.
I've been there 8. I'm not sure. Probably for beer sales,
Yes,
probably 5 or 6.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Does this group have to get a special event permit every year for the concerts or not?
They haven't had to in the
Okay.
past.
If they don't, why aren't they handled the same way IGA is? They get a beer permit once, every year they renew it. They don't have to come up here and stand in front of us. Seems like they ought to be on a renewal schedule. That's my opinion.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something we'll look at in the future for them. Okay. This is just, like you said, the last 4 or 5 years, this is how the commission's done it. And it's just like a blanket permit for the concerts from May to October. So, but that does raise a good point. So maybe we could talk about that in a future workshop. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, any more questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the beer permit for the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center.
Make a motion to approve the beer permit for the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, your beer permit's approved. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And where do we go to get tickets for the concerts if somebody wants to go?
Good point.
They're sold through our website.
Okay,
It's easy to find, so.
It's easy to find.
Yeah.
okay,
We'd be
thank you.
delighted, we'd be delighted to welcome you.
Okay, thank you so much. And we will close the beer board meeting at 7:06. Okay, next item on the agenda, y'all bear with me, are the minutes from the February 18th meeting. Gayla gave these to us ahead of time, so we've had a chance to review them. Are there any changes or adjustments that need to be made?
I don't see it.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from February 18th.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Minutes are approved. Alrighty. Next item on the agenda is the finance report, so I'll go to Ms. Gayla for that.
All right, you'll get your operating statements out. We'll start with the revenue. We budgeted for total income of $115,000. We came in at $102,000. Part of that is the cable TV franchise tax. And it's really just hit or miss when they send it, so we got one of it this last month. Going into the expenses, nothing really out of the ordinary to report. Most of the departments are generally under what we typically budgeted. No crazy expenses, anything like that. So if y'all had time to look through it, you can ask me any questions on that. But overall, going on to the last page for the net income, we budgeted for a negative income of $432. We came in at positive $2,200 for the month.
All right, and can you go over that charter of accounts with us?
Sure. The general fund has $748,000. Our street fund is down a little bit at $207 because we just spent $1,500 for salt and roads and heavy snow. The road fund is holding steady at $4,800 and the accessibility is at $1,450.
Commissioners, any questions for Gayla on the finance report?
None for me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Gayla. All right, do I have a motion to approve the finance report?
Make a motion to approve the finance report.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I said aye too. None opposed, finance report's approved. All right, and interim city manager report.
All right, not a whole lot to report right now. The mural committee will be meeting this Friday at 4:15 to approve, we'll make a recommendation to approve on the board of commissioners for mural renderings of the retainers of the different tunnels in town. So if that does, if they do approve that, then it'll be coming to the board of commissioners for the April meeting, and I'll send those renderings over.
When is this meeting?
This Friday at 4:15
And it's for the tunnels.
for the tunnels, yeah.
Okay.
And one item for maintenance, we got some loads on some trailers. to haul the new mowers on, because we don't have where to fit all of them. What the guys would like to start doing is hauling them down to each end instead of driving them, because that will save some money here and drive time on. Of course, Plant City came in with the best quote at $51.45. But Smoke Mountain Outdoors was at just under $7,000, at $69.90. And then the Outlaw Trailers and Lab was $64.95. So if y'all are open to appropriate $51.45 for them to get the trailer, what's that?
And the 5145 came from where?
Plant City is the same place we got the mowers. I think they gave us a little bit better deal.
How big is the trailer?
So 20 for the 80 for the
Which line item in the budget does this come out of?
It would be on like equipment purchase, but they don't have anything left in that item, so you would need to appropriate the money.
Okay.
And then it'll be put in a budget amendment, probably for April. Similar to when you appropriated the 10,000 last month to go to 2018 for $3.
All right, commissioners, do we want to entertain a motion for a trailer for the maintenance department to be able to haul their mowers for this season?
I'd like to make a motion to appropriate the money to purchase the trailer for the maintenance department.
Okay, the one that's 5145?
Yes, for Plant City.
Okay. All right, do I have a second for that? Okay, Becky seconded. All right, any further discussion on the trailer? Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, that trailer purchase is approved. Gayla, did you have anything else under city manager report?
He's going to cover government.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Okay, we will skip police report until Chief Condi arrives, and we'll come back to him for that. Fire department report.
Yeah, busy week last week. We were under red flag warning for wildland fire for a couple of days. Most of the week we were under very high warning. As I've expressed to y'all in the past, that's, we do live in an area that the town is susceptible to wildland fires, just like Avenue 54s and some of the ones that we've seen where structures have been lost. During the week, we probably had at least 6 folks out running the roads. We posted some people up on the parkway. Park Service works really well with us. We actually have a lock on the gate from Cars Creek so we can get up on the parkway. So when it was closed, we were able to access it and put a lookout up there. We've been very aggressive. If we see somebody burning, we tell them to put it out. So over 10 fires, at least, we put out during the week where people thought it was a good idea to start brush fires during the flag. We tell them, we don't fine, but we tell them that, forestry gets involved, there is a fine. There's a hefty fine involved with that, and forestry is also, they can fine people for the cost of fire suppression, which is in the tens of thousands of dollars. If somebody starts a fire, then they don't have a permit, the fire gets out of control. So everybody's trying to be aggressive on that. It's changed. The fire behavior, since I've been doing this 20-something years, has definitely changed. We see more aggressive wildland behavior than we ever have. We've been fortunate. We've not experienced a lot of structure loss, but unfortunately, it's probably just a matter of time. Wildland fires don't spread. A lot of people think they spread like a mudslide. They don't. They're mainly spread by embers. And those embers will land on houses and wood piles and decks. And once you have a structure going, then you start getting structure to structure condition, and that's when things get out of control. I don't care if you have the New York City Fire Department there with you. You can only get so many trucks and so much water up and down roads. So we try to be really aggressive about it. We're doing a lot of the work with the brush truck that's 30 plus years old. I mentioned that before. It still works, but it needs replacing. Unfortunately, a new brush truck nowadays is around $200,000. You know, I mentioned before, we need a tanker as well, a new tanker. You're looking at $300,000 or $400,000. We purchased engine 2 6 years ago, about 6 years ago, for $250,000. That same exact truck, same spec, same manufacturer right now is around $400,000. Just to tell you how much the increases has gone up in trucks. We bought that when we borrowed on it, so we're paying installments on that engine. You know, grants are hard for us to get because you all have blessed us, the community has blessed us. We have a fairly robust budget, but we don't have enough to buy big equipment with, but we don't qualify for some of the grants as well. So we've had a little trouble with finding the grants. So we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place on that. And then, you know, we lost our repeater that's on the antenna for the tower, project tree tower. It went out last week. It's $2,000 for a new repeater. I don't know how far y'all got through the budget process, but we're probably going to have to go up on subscriptions for our folks in the county, and we'll probably come to y'all asking for more. We've not asked for additional funds in a while, and everything has gotten much more expensive on us. I try to keep our crew with the latest gear, outfit them well, keep them safe so they can keep you all safe, and we do pretty good, except when it comes to large expenditures like apparatus.
Thank you so much for that, and we appreciate you so much. Commissioners, any questions for Chief Stallions?
If I could add, I always say this, but we are a nonprofit, 501c3. We have a board of directors. Nobody from the board of directors down receives any stipend, any payment, anything. It's all volunteer. So those folks that were out running the roads, sitting on the parkway, all last week, all of them did that on a volunteer basis. Any funds that we get from the city that we raise, anything, 100% goes back into protecting you all, protecting the citizens. So I think sometimes people are a little confused. Nobody in the fire department gets any monetary compensation.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And, let's give them some love. Our fire department.
We've got a good blessed, good crew.
And you said the repeater was lost. Is that from wind, or did it just poop out, or?
It died, and so they were surprised it's still working. Granted, that model's known for the power supply getting out, and then Bernie Bridget and Motorola, but Motorola likes to play the game of, oh, we don't support that anymore, there's no parts for that anymore. So, yeah, they said when they got this, they were surprised it's still working. I think it's about 10 years old. So that model, and so we have 2 repeaters. We have to. We still have trouble with radio coverage, and then we have to use high watts. It's a 100-watt repeater that we use up there. So I mean, we're working without it. We have a repeater on top of the world where we can 70% of the coverage right now, but with that repeater, we probably have about 80% of our area covered well. There's some overlap on the repeaters.
Any further questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
I've had people ask me this week. Are people allowed to have campfires right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
yes. So when we get to a red flag situation, you know, the forestry looks at fires and cooking fires a little different. Obviously, because there's some folks that there's no other way that they can cook than to have a grill and have an outdoor fire. When we get to red flag, I'm putting everything out. Especially Saturday, we got, praisable, we got rain Saturday. That brought tears to my eyes because we were looking at 30-mile-an-hour winds with extremely dry conditions. In that, a little campfire could have started something big. Because again, it's the embers, right? If it was, well, it's in the rain, it's the embers that spread. 2 years ago, we had a fire down here in Wallen. We got called for a separate fire park service wanting us to hit the one on the parkway. Thought it was 2 fires, and the fires were, half a mile between each other that had blown the embers up the mountain and landed on top of the ridge. So it's the embers are how these fires travel. So, you know, we work with people, you know, if you know, just because if somebody doesn't have a permit, but they're watching it, the conditions are right, and we'll tell them, go ahead and call and get a permit, we'll make them put it out. But what we had Friday going into Saturday, yeah, we'll put everything out.
Okay, thank you.
Maintenance report.
Oh,
Go ahead.
it's
Sorry.
really easy to get a burn permit too, those don't cost, you just have to call a number on the website. And really, what that's for is so you can check the weather conditions, and they're pretty good about updating that and making sure. And I do want to plug in, Tennessee Department of Forestry, Division of Forestry, posted 2 bulldozer crews up here with us during that time for quick response if we got something, so we really appreciate that as well.
Kelsey and myself had a good meeting with Chief Condy and Chief Stallions, talking about crisis if it hits and making sure that we have everything that we need to have in order. And it was a pleasure to sit down with both of them. I sit down with Dawn a lot more than Chief Condy, but it was really nice to be in the same room and make sure everybody was on the same page. So thank you for making the time to sit down with Kelsey and myself to go over. Kelsey and I sat through a conference, not together, but a Zoom meeting, so.
Yes, MTAS had it was a disaster strikes, crisis preparedness webinar several weeks ago. It was about 2 hours long, so we got to listen in on that, and we had, like the mayor from Cobb County was on there talking about different things, and it was just really good insight for us to be able to think about some things that maybe we hadn't thought about before and maybe pose those questions. So having that meeting with you all was very helpful so that we know where we need to go, what we need to do, who we need to talk to. And just one other thing, I think what we got out of that meeting was it would be great if we did have that mobile app. I think you were talking about that, you and Chief both had mentioned having a mobile app for the city might be helpful in situations like that. So that's something we should definitely consider.
Yes, as y'all know, I wasn't here last month, but I want to thank you guys for voting and approving the mobile. That's going to make our job a lot easier. And another one is we did some samples down here on the road on the curbing. I know last meeting was brought up that y'all wanted that done. So we did some down here at a shopping center. You guys take a look at it. Y'all like the way that looks, we can go with that. And I also was talking with Galen and Randy on another solution that y'all didn't like. That was we can get some reflectors and put on top of the curbing. That way they're not seen during the daytime only, nighttime only. TDOT was okay with it, talked to them, so they're fine with that. So other than that, I think it's about it.
I have seen the ones down by the shopping center that they did, so it was good to me. Maybe adding those reflectors would be a good idea.
As long as it's morning and good morning daylight.
Yeah.
So you can run at night to see.
We had talked about needing to purchase the paint for that and the glass for that. The Commissioner, Mike had mentioned that to reach out to the county to get the glass, but we were cleaning out one of our buildings and found 5 gallons of that paint and actually found the glass, the reflective beads to go in that, so. It is, how much was it to do the reflectors on the top?
It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $1 something a piece. So we basically got for each business and each street was 100. I think it was 106 or 104. I mean, it wouldn't be as noticeable in the daytime. I mean, seeing all them black marks on the side of the curtain, which I think a lot of people are just having trouble at night and early in the morning, which it is hard to see. And we can do the reflectors on that, or just do the paint, whatever.
And is the rest of the commission okay doing our city streets and doing our businesses?
I haven't had a chance to look at what they've done, so I'd like to do that before I voice an opinion. Okay.
All right. Is it okay if we put it off to the next month then, and we'll just keep doing what they've been doing to the rest of because this was like a trial run, this was like a sample of what
Yeah,
it
this is
would
what it
be.
looked like, and if y'all like it, or, I mean, it is noticeable during the daytime, I mean, you can really see it, and going all the way up the main road, and that's T-Dot, their biggest thing, was they did not want to give us any paint or anything for that, because it looked really ugly. And he said that's the only issue that they had, that they did not care what we did, that's what we wanted to do to provide. But I did mention the reflectors, and he said, you know, that wouldn't look as bad because it's so small. And you can really only see it during the daytime, I mean, nighttime.
So
How would you
maybe,
install them?
On top of the curb, just come back from probably about a foot where the turn in is, just so much where the tractor trailer comes in and run over. That way you know where the curbing is to turn in.
have you already done that anywhere?
Not
where we
the
can see it?
reflectors, just the paint.
Could we maybe do that somewhere, just so we can see what it's like at nighttime? I mean, I think that'd be a good idea, just for them to try that.
Yeah, that way we can each review both methods.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't see no harm in that. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and do that then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question. How's the mowers working? I smelled fresh grass yesterday when I was here.
Very good.
And the grass shoots did come in.
Yeah, we got them day before yesterday, put those on. So thank y'all very much for approving everything. And there will be some money back, because we did put our own mowers on Gov Deal, so that money will go back into the account.
Are they on yet on Gov Deals?
Yes.
They are on now. Okay.
And there's 3 of them on there?
Yes.
There's 2 bad boys, and then what was the other one?
X-Mark.
X-Mark, okay.
Another question, full of questions tonight.
You're good.
The 2 pieces of equipment we found in the barn, have they been added to Gov Deals also?
Yes.
Okay. What were those again?
Did a road sweeper and a concrete mix
Okay.
for tractor.
Wait, you said there was a sweeper?
Yes.
Is that something that we could use for the curb and gutter?
Well, T-Dot is responsible for the curb. They're responsible from curb to curb. And I talked to them about that as well. And they said that was, anything outside the curbs was a problem.
Okay. Thank you so much for that report. Okay. Well, we skipped over a police report. Chief Condi, have you got anything you'd like to report for us?
I don't have anything, it's
All right.
business as usual.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, now it's time for recreational reports, so.
Well, thanks,
Go ahead.
I just want to thank Chief Condi, thank him personally, I want to do it in a public way, and his force, they are extremely professional police force. They back us all the time. When I talk about going to some of these people putting out fires, sometimes they're not happy with us, and it's nice to have law enforcement backing us up. It's rare when you will find volunteer fire department and local police that work like we do. I mean, we really do like each other. And I want to thank, you know, it's a real thing, and I want to thank Chief Condi. It's his leadership that does that. It's got a good crew with his leadership. And I'm glad you're here. I appreciate what you do, Chief, and I really do appreciate you as a person, and I appreciate what you do for our town. I just wanted to say that while he was in here, because they were invaluable to the school.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I think, like, the fire department, we appreciate you all so much and what you do, and let's give them some love.
Chief Condi, I had mentioned about sitting down with you and Chief Stallions, you said Elmerkowski and I just thank you for taking time to do that. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. All righty, recreation report. It's lengthy. I'm so sorry. Okay, just get comfortable for a second, okay? Okey doke. All right, update on the RFQ review committee. We have met twice, so we approved the committee last month and we've met twice since then, so we've been very actively meeting. So what we did was we evaluated and scored the submissions that we got, and we have narrowed it down to 3 architect and engineer firms. The first one is TSW, the second one is ASA Engineering, and the third one is CEC. So we are actually scheduling further in-person interviews with those 3 firms in April. So we plan to sit down with them April 3rd. During those interviews, we'll ask further questions about their project approach, design elements, the budget and cost estimates, project scheduling, who's responsible for public input sessions, who's the project manager, things of that nature. And then we will discuss further, and then hopefully by then we can be able to narrow down who would be the best suited firm to do the special people's park project, the ramp and the platform. So should have somebody narrowed down by then, so we will conduct those further interviews. Did you or Pat have anything more to add to the RFQ review committee?
It just happened that the firms were all, their names were initials.
Yeah.
It just happened that way.
Yes. TSW and ASA are out of Chattanooga, but they specialize in parks and recreation projects. And then CEC is a little bit closer, and they're in Knoxville. So, but we did evaluate those very specifically to this project, and we're hoping that we can find the best suited one as soon as possible. Okay, next item. So I've been working with Chris from East Tennessee Development, and he's been helping us search for grants. And we did work together to submit a grant with the state of Tennessee called Project Diabetes. So, and that one would be for the Special People's Park. And I did send you all an email about this, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, just to give you all a heads up. But this grant is for projects to promote physical activity or access to healthy foods. So this one fell under the category of physical activity to and from the park. So after further research with Chris, then we determined that this grant does in fact fit what we're trying to do with the ramp and the platform, because so many people, because the bike trail's right there, so a lot of people will travel to that park either by foot or by bike, and they might get in the water and do some kayaking, paddleboarding, fishing. So it does promote physical activity in that aspect. The grant is $450,000. It's over 3 years, so they allow $150,000 per year, and there's no match required for this grant. So it would be fully funded. The funds can also be used to help pay for the architect and engineer costs, as well as East Tennessee Development's costs for helping us with the grant administration, because it is a reimbursable grant. So we would actually pay some of those invoices up front, but then we would be reimbursed for that. And we did send in that letter of intent already. The letter of intent was it's a pre-application really. We will know by March 21st whether or not we get invited for the full application. Yeah, so soon. So if we do get invited for that full application, then Chris will also help us with the full application. It'll be a little more extensive. So hoping that we can get invited for that full application. There's also another grant that we could try to go for, and it's called the Healthy Built Grant, and that's $80,000 flat, and it just goes for park projects in general. It can actually go for resiliency hubs, sidewalks, playground equipment, community centers. There's a whole list of things that this grant will cover. So that letter of intent is due April 15th, but what I'm kind of looking for is the Parks and Rec Board would like to know, like, if we were to go for a grant like that, what would the public and what the community and the residents and you all would want us to try to go for that 80,000? Because there's a whole list of things, and if you want to get on the State of Tennessee Department of Health website, the grant is called the Healthy Built Grant, so you can get on there and look and see the list of things. Healthy Built. Okay. I'm trying to hurry, y'all have to listen faster. Our first trial run with yoga went very well, so we discussed at our last meeting to continue with the yoga classes. So we decided to do 20 classes a year, and so we have already done 6, so we've got 14 more to go. And the yoga schedule will be posted on our Parks and Rec Facebook page, and each participant does sign a waiver before participating in yoga. Okay. And last month we had the Tree City USA presentation, and so I'm still working with Sue Hamilton, who did that presentation last month, and also talking to TDOT about what a tree board would look like for the city and what types of ordinance, sample ordinance that we would need to review for a tree board and what that would look like. So I'm trying to gather further information for the Tree City USA program for us to consider. So I should be back with more information on that in a month or two. And I think I could probably do more. That's all for now. Any questions on everything I just said?
Yes, bingo.
Oh, bingo. Yeah, we decided not to have bingo this month, but we will have bingo in April. We just haven't set a date yet. I know a lot of people were missing bingo in March. Gayla, can you tell them what happened? One of our officers called to let us know that apparently bingo's becoming a hot commodity in Townsend because somebody had called Blount County Dispatch to ask if Townsend was having losing bingo this month. Yeah. So there's that. So when we don't have it, people really love bingo. So we love it too. So yeah, just keep an eye out on our Facebook page for the next yoga day. Okay. Any more questions for me on the Parks and Rec report? Okay. All right, we'll move on to Townsend Kate's Cove Gateway Alliance. Miss Jill.
How are you all?
Good. How are
I'm
you
just
doing?
thinking, Chief, you might need to get some extra security for this thing over there. I don't really have a whole lot to report. I just wanted to let you all know that we actually started our Townsend Small Business Socials this past month. And that went really well. We had that at the Heritage Center. And so we had about 35 people there. It was really nice. It was just a good time to get together and hang out and get to know people and some networking. And so the plan is we're going to have 4 of those a year, once a quarter, just to start bringing some support and helping figure out a way we can better serve the small businesses. And this month, starting in April the 3rd, we'll start having free monthly lunch and learns for the community. And so we'll be, right now, in April, we're going to be at the Abbey. Okay. And that'll be once a month, the first Thursday of every month. And we'll do that from 12 until 1. We'll be buying folks lunch and providing a small lunch for everybody, that anybody that comes free of charge, and we'll be offering some different services and stuff for just different, we'll figure out the schedule and the topics as we go, but we'll be doing that throughout the rest of 2025 for sure.
Where do they find that information?
It'll be posted on our social media page right now. That's the only place. And again, it'll be for small business in our zip code only. And so we're going to be sharing it on the community sites like Townsend Heights and the 37882. So we'll share that schedule on there, but you can also find it, like, there'll be events like on the Explore Townsend Facebook page. So, and I'll probably bring something up here, I guess, too, just to have the information, but that'll probably be about it. We'll be able to find it.
Awesome. So you're going to be teaching?
Well, I will be, but I'll be offering different services, like different trainings and coaching for some of the businesses. But we've got people coming in too, like I've got some sponsors coming in. I've got a real good friend that owns a marketing firm in Knoxville. They're going to come in and offer just free advice and different things like that. We've got speakers that be coming in offering different types of support.
Awesome. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And also, are you going to be using the John C. Maxwell Foundation?
I'm sure.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
We'll be doing that. So there'll be a lot of opportunity. I want to wait and see first what people actually want or need and try to make sure it's pretty custom so that we can best serve people. So, but we will be doing that once a month. So
That's awesome.
Right
So I know you said social media. Is there a newsletter maybe they could sign up for?
well, we do. I'm not quite got that done.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a place to sign up to gather email and stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully by the time we get together, I'll be able to get people to sign up there at the monthly lunch and learns and then start creating our email list.
Okay.
So we'll start there, getting together. But other than that,
Okay. That sounds great. April 3rd.
April 3rd
12
at the Abbey.
At the Abbey. Okay.
yes, we'll buy you lunch.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Jill.
Thank you all.
Hope.
Recovery, Mr. Hook. It's good to be alive and upright. Finally getting back. Unfortunately, our meeting didn't have a quorum today. First time. Very sad news. But we still have a few updates. We're kind of on track. Phase 1, I'll just kind of go off some notes I have here. Phase 1, summer 2024 has been completed. Phase 2, the community engagement's been completed. We had in the fall. Figure out how to run this machine I got here. So we're, chapter 1 and 2 have been completed in the document. Chapter 1 has chapter 2. Research is still underway, so it kind of review it. So we're on the natural features and the historic places in Townsend. Looks like that research is starting to wrap up. Is that, I'll recognize Christina.
Yeah,
The historic stuff hadn't quite finished yet.
yeah, I don't think we've seen what they.
We haven't seen the draft.
Working on right now.
Okay, all right. So they're still going through, trying to identify all the historic places in Townsend, which is all of Townsend, as far as I'm concerned. Now, what we're into, now is this, what I call round and third, the home stretch of getting all the information from the Word doc stuff from the beginning of the middle of last year through the fall, and ETDD sounds like 5 or 6 of their team scrubbing this document in a pretty intense process right now. So the committee is probably next week, we'll have some emails going out amongst us to try to get with Kim and that team down there at ETAD and Ida and kind of start bringing this document all home, starting to compile it all. A lot of great ideas and the conversations I've had of how to finish this up. I'll probably chat with the mayor a little bit and then we'll try to figure out how to, I think everything that we've done so far has been really good information, and I was sharing it with the commissioner earlier. I want to make sure that this committee brings home this document full force, still riding high and head held high and hats on. And make sure that we can do Townsend justice to prepare for the growth, the history, make sure we're going through all these things. It looks like it's going to get busy for us again with our committee, and it'll be all hands on deck. So that's the update I have right now. If there's any questions.
Will there be another public engagement session, kind of like what we did at the Heritage Center?
Yeah, I think 3 were initially planned, one in the beginning, one in the middle, the fall, and is there a release? I think there has been some discussion of.
Well, I don't
final.
know really how we're gonna do the release, but I don't think there's another public session. I think that part is over,
Okay.
is my understanding. Yeah. So as far as what happens at the end, we can get that information.
But we can have a big hoo-ha here, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I was kind of under that impression that might happen again.
It still might be, some things have been modified through the
Okay.
process. So
Okay.
that's what we're going to do next week. Like I say, not having a quorum kind of sets you back
Right.
a little bit. So we're going to kind of step into the committee a little bit next week and say, hey, you know, we're going to finalize here. We just got a few months in life of this committee and make sure we get strong.
Okay.
Good night.
I did have one note from the mayor, because they're still scrubbing the document, East Tennessee Development. I believe that Kim is wanting our input, the remainder of our input on the zoning ordinance. And I believe by a deadline, by this Friday.
This Friday.
So,
Can we send it Friday, or does it need to be sent Thursday?
Same time, I can check with Karen.
okay.
Yeah, so that's been the topic lately, it's been the zoning and the ordinances and stuff. And as you guys are going through them, whether they're recommendations to make word changes, minor changes, or something that might happen in the future. So that's another point that Clay brought that up.
I was able to do it pretty easily because the link that he sent us, you just insert comment. And it says guest user, but I believe they're reading all of our comments anyway, so,
It should be.
okay.
Can I, just that came up at the last meeting, and he is just gonna put all the comments together. He said it doesn't matter who it's from.
Thank you. Okay. All right, any more questions for Mr. Hope on the community plan? So you didn't have quorum today? Okay.
Sad day, yeah. I had waited for a little bit, we kind of hung out, and a bunch of us were here. But I think, you know, days are longer, when you kind of look at it that way, and yeah, maybe it's a negative for the committee, but we'll turn it into a positive, we'll rally the troops and say, you know, we've just got this final stretch, so.
Okay. Do you think you might do like a call meeting?
I would say, so when we first started, we were going every 2 weeks. And I would say with the amount of information, haven't shared this with the committee yet, but I can see us going back to that plan to help finish strong. If we have communication every couple of weeks, it's a lot better than every 30 days.
Yeah.
And this is when we need it the most.
Okay. I agree. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, now we're down to public input for items that are on the agenda. So if you've got any public input for any of the items listed under new business, I'll go ahead and open that up at 7:50. Do we have anybody signed up?
So I don't know whether this qualifies as being on the agenda because it was in front of this instead of after this. But it has appeared to me that a great many of the people in the community are absolutely wanting to protect Townsend from becoming Pigeon Forge 2.0. I mean, that's a topic of discussion every day, online anyway. And with the further delay of the community plan, I would encourage you as commissioners to seriously consider removing hotels from your B1 district and putting single-family residence in that place. Literally, right now, there's nothing that any of you can do if you leave it printed the way that it is to stop 100 new hotels going into Townsend if somebody wants to buy the property and do that, because your zoning regs call for hotels in the B1 zoning district. Right now. Doesn't matter how you all vote. If you vote no when they come before you, a court's going to overrule you because your zoning regulations say that you allow hotels. If I were you, I would seriously consider removing that immediately. I mean, however you can go about making a motion in a second and making it happen, I would do that immediately to stop anybody from being able to buy houses and put hotels along the river in Townsend that nobody wants. You can stick them in B3, you can do whatever you want to, but you need to get them out of B1 because all of Townsend's B1. And if you don't want 100 new hotels, the smart thing to do is to get that out of your zoning regs. And I wouldn't just do that as a comment on this new plan. I would take that action now because as everyone's going to see, once the horse is out of the barn on things, you can't put it back in. So somebody goes and buys up a bunch of properties this week because you didn't take action. Doesn't matter what you change in the future, they just bought the property to build the hotel on it, and you can't go back on them. So put that in your thinking cap. I think it's a really good piece of advice if you truly do want to preserve the look of Townsend the way that it is right now. I don't think it hurts a single existing business or a single existing resident to do that, but it could sure make a huge difference in keeping it from becoming Pigeon Forge 2.0. So that's my tidbit on that.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, can we take just a couple of minute break real quick? Okay, we'll go ahead and get back to our meeting. Thank you all for letting us take a couple of minutes to take a quick break, but we will go ahead and get started back with the first item under new business. Okay, so first item under new business is the Community Plan Advisory Committee expressions of interest. Now, Gayla, I think when did we put out that call for expressions of interest? Like a week before last? Okay. Alrighty. So it looks like we've got one here that's interested, Miss Sandy Hedrick, and she's got her interest form here. And is Dave still here? Did he leave? Okay.
I'm here still.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. Alrighty. When is the deadline for that? Did we give a deadline for the expressions of interest?
Not sure, I think if we did, we're gonna extend it out a little bit.
Okay. Alright. Because I think they were looking for maybe a couple.
I don't think that we put a deadline on this one.
Okay.
But
Alright.
Put out March 11th.
Okay. So from what I gather, Hank Dye was on the Community Plan Advisory Committee and he has moved away. So we need to fill his spot. And so Ms. Sandy has offered her, has volunteered for this Community Plan Advisory Committee. And so I know when I talked to the mayor earlier today, he said that we would he would like to replace Hank with Sandy. So she was our only interest for now, so, but we can keep that deadline open. So I would like to go ahead and make a motion to add Sandy Hedrick to the Community Plan Advisory Committee, to that committee.
I'm confused. I heard you just talk about extending it, now we're talking about.
Yeah, extend the deadline, but she's already submitted, so.
Okay. So if we extend the deadline and 6 more people apply, what do you, I don't understand what you're doing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Will there be more
Open.
positions? There possibly could be another seat open.
Yeah.
I need to reach out to Logan Hall to see if she's going to want to stay on, since she's taking on new business.
okay,
So I think that's kind of what the mayor was thinking
okay.
on that line.
So I know he wanted to fill Hank's seat though.
Yeah, and she's the only application that we received from the first.
So this is to fill Hank's seat, but there may be another
Could be
seat
another.
that could be coming open.
Yes. So we will take any more expressions of interest in case another seat does come open. Does that make sense?
That
Okay.
makes more sense.
Okay, all right, sorry, I just worded that differently. Okay, so I would like to make a motion because Sandy, she's got a lot of volunteer history here. Let's see, member and president of Townsend Elementary School, PTO, PTA, Townsend Chamber of Commerce, former Townsend Wallen Business Alliance, Townsend Foothills Kiwanis member, Little River Railroad Museum, Bethel Baptist Church music director, Hearts and Hands Scholarship Fund president. So I feel like she would be an asset to the CPAC to replace Hank for that committee. So I would like to make a motion to add her to the Community Plan Advisory Committee.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion on that?
Yeah, I was talking to Dave Hope a little while ago, and he said one of the goals of adding this person was to add history, historian. And it's hard to argue against Sandy's history. I think the only person that's got more history is her husband. So that's one of his goals, was to get that, because they're in that section of the plan where they need that history. They can either have somebody on the committee that knows the history, or they'll have to go out and solicit that information.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of like the phase that the community plan is in right now. Sandy's attended like every meeting, I believe. And so I think it's important for somebody that's attended the meetings regularly, that knows what's going on with it and what phase it's in, because this is, you know, we've had the community plan committee for several months, and but Sandy's been at every meeting, so we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Can I just say that I wholeheartedly agree with that?
Okay, thank you. All right, all those in favor of adding Sandy to the Community Plan Advisory Committee, say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Echo that.
All right, Sandy, thank you so much. Okay, next item on the agenda is a special event application for Bug and the Dragon. Do we have a representative here from Bug and the Dragon? Okay. All right, it looks like this event is May 31st. Let's see.
Yes, May 31st, we're starting at Peaceful Side Social.
Sorry, can you Thank you.
May 31st, we're starting at Peaceful Side Social. We'll be there for about 2.5 hours. It's pretty much a vintage bullfighting cruise, not to be confused with their PW show that's usually at Italian.
Okay.
We need no assistance from True Comedy or anything this year. Since we moved the location, we don't have to try to get out gospel lines of traffic anymore. We usually had it at Townsend Visitor Center.
Okay. Have you spoke to him about the event though?
I'm sure you remember else from years past.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
This is a free event, we don't charge anything, it's pretty much a bunch of friends getting around from around the country. That being said, we'd like to ask you guys for the application waiver, because it's all, everything we do is out of my wife's pocket. So anything we can say is greatly appreciated.
Okay. All right, just an event summary. This is just staging for a rolling car show for vintage Volkswagen Beetles, buses, etc. Okay.
We want to bring here going to Robbinsville and Bonghead. And then we're staying at the Strawberry Patch.
Okay.
We actually put that out with Wendy, we help out Little River.
Okay.
And Peaceful Side, we're actually doing a Friday night thing to help them out too, since they're donating the property to us.
Okay. All right, Chief Condi, any input on this event?
Never had any issues in the past.
Okay.
Have you been doing this?
This is the 7th year.
The seventh?
7th year,
About
okay.
how many cars do you expect?
Roughly, it's between 60 to 100.
Are you gonna have one of those new electric bulbs here?
I
want to see one.
don't know if Lady Buzz will make it. We do about 250 miles in a day in 50-year-old cars. So,
Good luck.
Yeah. We've got that kind of work.
Okay, any more questions for,
No.
are you AJ?
Aye.
Okay. Any more questions for AJ about Dragon the Dragon?
I think you owe him an answer about the fee.
Well, that'll have to be in with a motion if somebody wants to put that up. Yep, so.
I make a motion to accept the Dragon the Dragon special event and to add the waiver of the fee.
Okay, thank you. Okay. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that's approved for you and the fees waived.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Okay, next one up is another special event application for Summer Jam Car Show. All right, do we have Terry here? Okay, so this event looks like it's July 19th and the 20th at Tally Ho. And how many years have you all been doing this one?
We took it over last year. We done it last year, and this is our second year.
Second
But
year.
The show's been going on for 16 and 14, is that right?
14 before it was in Knoxville.
Here. Before it was in Knoxville.
Okay. Alrighty. And you did provide me with the flyer, so if y'all would like to review that, go ahead. All right.
It's quite a creative email address.
So it's just a Volkswagen Car Club show and vendor sales. All right. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Terry about this event? And Chief Condi, do you have any input on this event?
Well, other than having a leadership of questionable character. Despite appearances, he's a pretty good fella. But no, to my knowledge, we've not had any. It predates me, but I'm not aware of any issues with this group either. That I don't know if there was any issues. Just a bunch of peace and love and black light posters.
How many cars do you expect? I know it's hard to predict.
Yeah, last year I think we had 100, AJ, he was with us last year, 115.
Right about 100,
Last year.
Yeah.
We're trying to build it up. Summer Jam was a show that was with another club, and it started falling down. The club, not the show, the club. When the club started falling down, and then the show started falling last year, we only made $2,400. And it took $2,400 to put this show on this year.
Okay.
And so, we're just trying to make it bigger and better and more money for you guys.
Okay.
And I spoke with Kelsey right before the meeting started. Last year we were gonna donate to a company, a children's company or a children's house that would not take the money from us. That said that they didn't need the money. So we donated to Shoebox for Soldiers last year. A friend of ours in Lower City does that. This year, I would like to try to figure out how to do it if we make enough, whatever the proceeds are, other than what it takes us to put the show on, to donate to the Parks and Rec here in Townsend, if that's possible.
Awesome. Did you say you wanted to request a waiver
Yeah,
of this
possible.
application? Okay.
Well, we've got some money expenditures, I could add to what you just said, so.
Go ahead.
That's
You
all.
come up to the
Awesome.
microphone. Just because we're on, we're taping.
No,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
by the time, we spend, what, $550 for trophies, $250 for porta toilets, which we're actually using y'all's
TC.
company.
Yeah.
And then we've got $150 for insurance, $350 for t-shirts. I mean, it sounds like we make money, but it's a lot. And we really, really want to keep this show going. We
And
really-
I'd like to keep it here.
And the tally ho is filled. From the day we start the show, they go up there and they sign up for next year.
Yeah.
So it's just a continue, it's just too bad. But we understand it's progress. So we're really looking for another place.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking for another place.
Here in town.
Yes.
Yes, but a waiver, everything we got under treasure, by the way.
I can tell.
But really a waiver, it would be awesome if you could
Okay.
find it in your hearts to do that. But we enjoy our time here and yeah, we don't have that money to electric, but maybe someday.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Any more questions about this event? Okay. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the special event application for the Summer Jam and the waiver.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, if there's no more discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is a special event application for the Michael Landon Memorial Day Show, and it is at the Little River Railroad and Lumber Museum.
Hope's on here.
Okay.
I just forgot your name. We went together to school. I'm sorry. You can come up.
You're too young for that.
Okay. All right, so it looks like this one's May 23rd and 24th. And, let's see.
This is the third year, correct?
That's what I was thinking. And it just says tractor and engine
Can
show.
you say your name?
I'm Hugh Pierce.
Okay.
I'm the president of the tractor club, Heritage Tractor Engine Club, one of the down.
Okay.
Sorry, Jimmy, I just lost your name.
We do antique tractors and engines, we are, everything there will be free to the public coming in. It would be nice that the waiver was waived on that, but we are a free event for everybody.
Okay.
And we do a fall show also in the year.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Will you all be having the little tractors? The tractor train?
Oh, but yeah, for the kids, they love
She
that.
wanted to guide.
She wanted to
I had the
ride it.
pictures of their riding,
Okay, all righty. Any questions for Jimmy about this event? It's very low scale, low key, so. All righty. Do I have a motion to approve this Michael Blandon Memorial Day Show?
I make a motion to accept the special event application for the Michael Landon Memorial Day Show and the fee waiver.
Okay, do I have a second? All right, if there's no further discussion, then all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Okay, Okay, that's all the special event applications, so we are on to, let's see, unfinished business. And, let's see, commissioners, do we have any unfinished business that we need to bring up? Maybe a workshop?
Was that unfinished or other?
Unfinished, maybe, whichever you want to do.
I know we need to try to set a budget workshop.
Yeah.
In the back of your folder, you'll see the budget worksheets. And the middle column is what we have to date. We don't have large table major figures in here. But I was kind of conservative on the revenues. And since we know that workshop, we just need to get a date set.
Okay. You want to try to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, let's go ahead and set that while we're sitting here together so we can go ahead and get that rolling because we probably need to go through a few budget workshops before the fiscal year begins. Kayla, did you want to try to do this at the end of the month or beginning of April?
Yes, we'll see if anybody had anything for next week. Next week, I know the mayor's schedule's clear.
Okay.
First week in April will not work for him.
Okay. Next week. I'm good any day next week.
Next week, but always, okay, let see what's discussed and budget, but I won't be free till the third week of April.
Are you two open? Okay, is there a certain day of the week that works better for you guys? Becky? Okay. How about, do y'all want to shoot for the 26th? Yeah.
I'll be able to get started. 5:30.
Let's do 6.
It's Tuesday, 25th, is
Wednesday, the 26th. Chief, does that work for you?
6 p.m.
Yeah, March.
March. So next Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for providing that budget worksheet as well. Okay, March 26th at 6 o'clock. Okay. Any other unfinished business, and I have a couple other things that are under other business. Okay, next up is public input for items that are not on the agenda. So if there's any public input for items that are not on the agenda, we'll open that up at 8:20. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll go ahead and close public input then. And I have an update. We need to give a little update from the mayor about the bill, the Senate Bill 965 and the House Bill 980. So I have the amendment here that was made last week, and I will read that here in just a second, but the mayor did want me to let you all know that we're continuing to work with our state legislators, and the resolution that we passed last week, he has shared that with our legislators. I think a few of us have done the same thing as well, with the city's stance with the opposition of the bill. And he wanted to stress that that's the city's official position on the on these bills. And he said we're still analyzing this legislation. Last week the amendment was proposed, and I'll just go ahead and read that right now because it's rather short. Okay. All right. It says, Section 1, Tennessee Code Annotated, Title 7, Chapter 69 is amended by adding the following as a new section. Under Section 8, a tourism development authority formed pursuant to this chapter owning a tract of real property of which all or any portion thereof is contained within the incorporated territory of a municipality may petition the municipality to de-annex such property if the de-annexation of the property does not create an area of unincorporated territory that is completely surrounded by municipal boundaries. Section B, the petition must include a map of the plat seeking de-annexation. Section C, upon receiving the petition for de-annexation, the municipality shall, 1, determine the debt amount owed pursuant to 6-51-204, Section A, if any, within 30 days. And number 2, forward a copy of the petition to each county legislative body that contains territory that is being de-annexed for approval by the legislative body. D, the de-annexation of the property becomes operative 60 days after receipt of the petition by the municipality or upon approval by the county legislative body by a majority vote, whichever is later. E, except for responsibility for debt newly contracted after the territory was annexed and prior to the surrender of jurisdiction, all municipal jurisdiction ceases over the territory excluded from the municipality's corporate limits on the operative date of the contraction accomplished through the petition described in this section. And so that was the amendment that was, I guess it was last Wednesday, that went through. One other thing that the mayor wanted me to add as far as this bill goes is that we had tasked him to be in contact with Brian Daniels from Will Partnership and the county mayor. So he said to let you all know that he's doing what we asked of him at the called meeting last Thursday. And they're just trying to address different types of arrangements, that he would keep us updated on his conversations with Blunt Partnership and the county for the desires of our community. So that was the only update that I had from him. I have reached out to several senators and committee members that the bill may or may not touch, just sending them the resolution that we passed last week. And so far, the only other senator that I've been in contact with is Senator Briggs. So I didn't know if you all had any other updates you would like to give on the bill. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure the mayor will come back to us with any other findings that he comes with. So I think it may go through a committee tomorrow. But I don't know. It was supposed to go through the House State and Local Government Committee tomorrow, but the Tennessee Municipal League is following the bill as well. So that was the update that the mayor wanted me to give you all.
Do they have a stance on it, or are they just following?
I don't think they support it from talking to the mayor.
What was that, David?
So they oppose it.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
Do you all participate in the Tennessee Municipal League's requirements to be membership?
I believe we do. Yeah.
So you all have been taking 3 hours of education every year on the law?
MTAS training. MTAS. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know if that was the same thing. But
It's not exactly the same thing, but they will have a problem if they find out that you're records are incomplete. And that's not a technicality that y'all need, so that's why I was asking the question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other input on okay. All right, I just had one other thing. Commissioners, you should have a one-page sheet in here. Let me find mine. Thank you. Okay, so this is a proposed pay increase for the interim city manager, Gayla Webb. So we had made Gayla our interim city manager in July of 2024. So she's put together just the rates here and what it would cost. Now, we would not be dipping into the fund balance to add this in to her salary. She's been doing 2 jobs for the past almost year now. And so I would like to, I'll give you all a second to look this over. And then if somebody wants to make a motion to approve the salary increase, you might go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the salary increase for interim city manager.
Okay. All right, do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. We appreciate you so much. If there's any further discussion on this. Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Don't spend it all on place.
Save some, take a vacation.
We appreciate you very much. And honestly, like, thank you. Because you're great. Thank you to Kayla. She's pretty much doing 2 jobs in the office, and she needs to be recognized for that, so we appreciate you. Okay, any other business, commissioners, that we need to
Yes.
go over? Okay.
I was, sorry, Mr. Aker brought up a thing about moving the hotels to a different zoning. And I was thinking, we had the workshop a couple of months ago, and there was a few easy items that we discussed in putting residents back in B1, or putting residents back in all zonings, but especially B1 since there's so many of them now. I don't know if I can make a motion now to get that, go ahead and do it in the works and get that fairly quick. But then also, talking to other people that, moving hotels and campgrounds to their own zone, out of the B3, but also to move hotels into that zone as well. Some comments I made or heard, I know last meeting I brought up possibly making Townsend its own tourism authority. I didn't know if that was something that is allowable or not. There were some questions on whether we could have an entertainment tax. And then several months ago, I brought up this Dark Sky initiative, and I'd like to see that try to go a little bit forward,
Okay.
getting the dark skies.
Okay. So hotels and campers in their own zone. Question about Townsend having its own tourism authority. Dark Sky Initiative, was there one more thing?
Residents in B1.
To change the zoning, would that need to go to the planning and the planning make a recommendation to make that change to the y'all?
Yes,
Okay.
you have to.
Okay.
It has to go through
So we
planning.
have to go through planning first. We might need another joint workshop.
Well, I think Becky's been lobbying for that for quite a while, but we didn't have a follow-up
Okay.
workshop to get any of this done.
Can we go ahead and, Gayla, can you send out an email to the planning commission and the board of commissioners tomorrow to try to set a date for a another workshop for the things that she's mentioned here.
And we also add the BCA committee to that also.
Yeah.
meeting. So everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I think that's important for them to be there as well.
And any other little items we discussed that we can knock off the list fast?
Yeah. Yes, okay. I do have one thing to say about the hospitality tax. I know you said entertainment tax, so that's different, I assume. So with the hospitality tax, we don't have, I mean, the county does, and it's 5, I believe it's 5%. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Are you talking about the hotel motel tax?
Well, I call it hospitality
Okay.
tax. I believe
I
it's
never
the
heard
same
it
thing.
called, I never heard it called that today. We're talking about the same thing.
So when hospitality tax has to be used to promote tourism. I think that's what Chris from East Tennessee Development told us, and then maybe Angie from MTAS had told us that as well. But is entertainment tax, is that something different? I've not heard of that one.
I think it is, and I've actually asked Angie about that as well.
Okay.
I have to go back through the emails to see, but we're not eligible to levy that
Okay.
due to non-solicitor, something wrong, and I have to look back, but I can't get the exact reason why we can't.
I'd like to
I checked
hear
it
more, I'd like to hear more about that. That's a little confusing to me.
Yeah, and the hospitality tax, that's what I call it, but I believe hotel motel tax is the same thing, but it's 5% in the county.
Like Airbnbs and just people spending the night.
Yeah, campgrounds, hotels, motels.
State law changes after certain things have happened as well. For example, Alcoa has its own hotel motel tax, which is not legal anymore to do that, but it existed before Tennessee changed the law. So Knoxville's entertainment tax could very well be no longer eligible to be done if they change the law to stop it. I'm not saying they have, I'm just trying to explain that the state does things like that when they see people trying to get money that they want. So they tend to shut that down. So anyway, it's worth looking at because
Okay. All right. All right, well, we'll send, Gail will send out that email tomorrow to try to get that joint workshop together ASAP. Okay? Any other business, commissioners? I believe that's all I had. Let me look back through the mayor's notes real quick, but I believe I covered everything else. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. Thank you all so much.